The Buffalo Bills continue with OTAs and move closer to training camp. And the Sabres taking it home at the Worlds. All this and more on this edition of the Buffalonian Podcast. All right, let's go.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
We are back with the Buffalonian Podcast. I'm Joe Cali. In case you're wondering, that hurdle, we do have a photo of. It's not up on the wall. I'm Joe Cali. As always, I'm joined by none other than Dom Loss. Sorry, unconventional start to the Buffalonian Podcast here, but it's been a while since we've been in studio together. Some escapades in the Charleston area for the producer and Dom, and just a crazy start to the offseason here for the Bills and the Sabres. It's good to be back, though. And yeah, Josh Allen's in a Gatorade commercial to start things off. That was the shortened version of it. In the full version of it, you hear, I don't know, you see that he has a jersey. Well, of course he has a jersey on, but it's the penny says unrecruited because he did not, as any Bills fan would know, he didn't get any letters or stars or anything like that. Going into college, he basically had to sell himself and to these coaches and see what they thought, and Wyoming took the chance. And here we are, all these years later, talking about what he's going to do for this brand new question marks wide receiving room. But Dom, how are you, buddy? A long time no see.
Good. Yeah, I got a little sun.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a little sun, a little charred up.
Glad I didn't get Wally pipped by Evans, so, here we go.
Wally Pip, the Yankees. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, last week that was interesting.
Do we got a fake Yankees fan in here?
No. I knew it took me a minute, all right? I wasn't expecting Wally Pip to come out on May 30th of 2024, but here we are. He's come out on another pod before, too. I forget which one.
Multiple, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a recurring guest at this point, Wally Pip. But, yeah, no, Evan Harrington stepped in last week. Appreciate that. Forgot to mention you were on vacation until, the final 5 minutes. And I was like, I probably should have mentioned that. He's not just completely gone. Yeah. But we eventually got to it by the time we got through the OTAs and the offseason.
The gist of the, yeah.
Yeah, we got through the entire episode, and then we made a programming note that you were coming
Footnote.
back. Yeah. But, the Bills, the OTAs continue. They're getting closer to training camp. The weather in Buffalo is getting nicer. Throwback to the first episode of the pod. We talked about the weather for 10 minutes. It's right now it's 70, sunny. It's a cooler day, but I'm not complaining, and I don't think the Bills are either because, the humid Buffalo summer is on the way. That's coming.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yeah, so the Bills, though, I haven't gotten your thoughts yet. We'll start there. Training camp. The Bills question marks wide receiver room of not a lot of proven talent in there. You have talent, but it's a lot of raw, especially with Keon Coleman. You don't know. You've never seen them. Only one receiver has actually caught a pass from Josh Allen in a game, and that's Khalil Shakir. So it's going to be interesting.
True.
What do you think? What general thoughts right off the bat?
General thoughts. Well, I do think it's interesting that the Bills are kind of copying the Chiefs model of kind of zigging, zag instead of zig in the wide receiver market. We just saw Jalen Waddle get paid
today
$84 million over 3 years, so it's about, 28?
Yeah.
I think that makes him the 4th highest paid receiver in the game.
Yeah.
And I think 3rd is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, two high-paid receivers with a quarterback that doesn't have a lot of arm strength.
Sure.
So it's great.
I think it's a situation, you saw Amon-Ra St. Brown get paid. You saw Devontae Smith, I should say. Michael Pittman got paid. I think there's Justin Jefferson still wants a contract.
Brandon Ayuk.
T. Higgins still wants a contract. So I think it's a situation now that we're seeing in the NFL, the wide receiver market kind of booming. And it's interesting because we have seen a little bit now in recent history. Now, I know it's the Chiefs and the Chiefs, it's not great to always build off what the Chiefs have because not everyone has a Patrick Mahomes or an Andy Reid for that matter.
But the Bills, in fact, have a Josh Allen.
But they zagged a little bit. When they traded away Tyreek Hill, they didn't pay the wide receiver. I know they paid MVS $10 million, but that's a whatever contract. That's a whatever contract. That's not paying upper echelon money to wide receiver. So I think it's interesting that we see now with the Bills investing in tight end with the Dawson Knox contract and the first-round pick of Dalton Kincaid, the move up to get him, kind of investing maybe in a tight end, a pass-catching running back, and maybe now you get Curtis Samuel for $8 million. You invest in Keon Coleman. Khalil Shakir kind of blossoms maybe a little bit, and you get some other veterans in Hollins and MVS, kind of again, an unknown room, but you get a lot, maybe instead of having the high upper echelon guys, you kind of build out your depth, because remember last year, Sherfield missed, Hardy missed, Davis was out of the lineup at the end of the year, and Diggs slowed down.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at the end of the year production, you could say, okay, they can match. I think this room can match it. Now, can they match the beginning of the year production, especially with Stephon Diggs? I think that's
the question
to be determined. But they got rid of Stephon Diggs' big salary, and I think part of it is because you see this wide receiver, Nico Collins just got paid as well. I think the Bills are kind of thinking that they can compete on an offensive level without having high paid talent wide receiver, and I think they could do it. I think it makes the job a lot harder because it's a lot easier to have a dude that can win on one-on-one coverage and be productive, any scheme against them. But I also think it's a situation where we're seeing a boom in wide receivers, and Jalen Waddle is a nice wide receiver. I think he's like a high-end to low-end. I don't even know if you want – there's not 32 wide receiver ones. There's 8 of them that are real wide receiver ones, and then there's probably another 10 that could be wide receiver ones, and then there's a bunch of quality number 2. So kind of where does Jalen Waddle fit? Probably more in the high-end number 2, and you just saw him get paid $28 million. Devontae Smith, who's more of a high-end number 2, just gets paid $25 million. You kind of now seeing they're
getting paid.
Now the high-end number 2s are getting paid, where also it just shows that Gabe Davis was never valued as a high-end number 2 because he got paid 13. But my point stands of, Calvin Ridley, he's not really a 1. He's more of a high-end 2. He got, 4 for 92, so that's a pretty significant, I'm blanking, $23 million.
Yeah.
So I think you're seeing kind of the market boom with him, and now
you're seeing the running back market just take a dump pretty much.
True, but now
that's the balance you're seeing
now.
It's
intriguing to see what teams do, because now with Justin Jefferson, it's does he get $40 million? Does he get quarterback money? Because he's a 1, and Waddle just got 28, and he's better than Waddle.
Yeah.
He's at least $1 million better than Waddle.
He's going to demand it.
Jamar Chase, his contract is going to come up in a couple years. What does he get value-wise? So
clear-cut number 1.
Tyreek Hill, I know he's older, and I know he said he was going to retire at the end of his contract, but his contract's coming up too. Maybe he wants Devontae Adams. Too many Devontaes to keep track of.
Yeah.
But I think we're starting to see this boom, and I think we're going to start seeing some teams maybe move in the opposite direction. We definitely saw the Chiefs do this, and now I think the Bills are doing. I also think the Bills moved off of Stephon Diggs for a variety of reasons, right? Probably some locker room stuff.
The drama, whatever.
Maybe the production decreasing. Maybe we're going to zag from having a high salary. Brandon Beane in an interview recently talked about how he felt like an idiot because he didn't have a backup veteran quarterback for Josh Allen.
Yeah, how we just drafted him and it was all on Josh.
Yeah, it was all on Josh because they put all their eggs into Josh, and they didn't do it until they got Derek Anderson 5 games in the year.
And Derek Anderson...
Well, he's a vet.
He's a vet.
It's not because he's playing Bill. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
He then made a comment about Stephon Diggs about this albatross of a contract. That's why they traded. He's not going to give into specifics otherwise, but that's a big reason.
No, because Brandon Beane doesn't deal with the drama.
If they weren't going to trade him or get rid of his contract this offseason, next offseason they might have to spread it out across a couple of years and you lose your flexibility. And now that they did it, they just eat the bullet, whatever. I think an underrated storyline that not a lot of people are discussing is that I think Von Miller and Dawson Knox had a lot to do with Stephon Diggs being traded. Because I think Brandon Beane sits at himself coming into this offseason as, damn, I'm stuck with these albatross contracts. I'm a fool. He can't get rid of Von Miller.
Yeah.
He can't get rid of Dawson Knox. And luckily, I think he still wanted to move on for them because you saw them both take pay cuts, pretty much. It's not even like they took like restructures.
No, it was going to be business. He was about to let.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
going to be pay cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't think Stefan Diggs want to do that. So I think you see that those two guys being willing to take pay cuts and be albatross and kind of those contracts that were kind of like you can't get out of. Like I think Brandon Beane was like, I made this mistake of giving these guys, but I need to get out of them. I need to figure out a way. And Diggs, I think that's an underrated kind of storyline that not a lot of people are thinking about is that Brandon Beane likes to learn from his past mistakes a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
The veteran quarterback for Josh Allen, he made that mistake, right? Now with the handing out the Von Miller contract, I don't think he wants to get stuck in a similar situation he has with Von Miller with Stefan Diggs 2 years down the road, where Stefan Diggs mostly pretty healthy throughout his career, but getting to that range where one injury, that heals in a week, heals in a month now, kind of. So I think that's kind of an underrated storyline that now people are talking about the Diggs stuff. And then to go back to the wide receivers train, I think they got a lot of guys that can play in various positions, and I think it will help Josh be the best quarterback he can be. When I think Josh is at his best when he's dicing and kind of throwing to everyone.
Yeah, he's splitting the pie up in a bunch of different directions. He's spreading the wealth, and that's when you saw him at his best at the end of last season.
Yeah,
when all the receivers were getting the ball, but when you're trying to force it to your number one guy, it's not.
I think when he got in that mindset, it hurt him a little bit. But I think this is going to bring out the best quarterback in Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was also important them to add talent in the room from the perspective at the end of last year. Again, as I alluded to, like the two depth guys really not giving anything in Hardy and Sherfield. Davis is out and Diggs was declining, and they didn't have the wide receiver talent, ability in the Chiefs or the really the playoff games or down the stretch to really compete because those guys weren't giving them anything.
And they still kind of competed.
Now you kind of get Curtis Samuel in the mix, you get MVS in the mix, you get Keon Coleman in the mix. Like, I think, is it an upgrade overall? Probably not, right? Losing Stefan Diggs and all that. But I think it's an upgrade from the perspective of what they were getting production-wise at the last month and playoffs of the season. I think a lot of people, again, don't take that into account. And maybe that's too small of a sample size, but I think from that perspective, they have gotten better. Now, they don't have a 1, and it's going to be interesting to see.
I don't consider any of these guys that are going to be the 1, the way I think about it.
Well,
I think it's going to be a pool. I don't think you're looking for a wide receiver 1 per se. I know one of them is going to be labeled that at some point. But right now you're looking at your wide receiver room is going to be a collective working assembly line of a machine, gears in the cogs in the gears, whatever. And then you're looking at, Kincaid and Knox being healthy might be able to be a big tight end duo. And I think you're just looking at essentially your entire offense instead of just labeling one wide receiver.
Sure,
1.
I think it's going to be Kincaid that gets the most reps.
Yeah, 100%.
But
yeah.
I think the one problem I do think they have, really, there's 2 problems. One is they don't have the alpha, so it's not like, hey, man, 3rd and 5, I know Stefan Diggs is probably going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to get the ball.
I mean,
but they don't have that.
They don't have it. They don't know they have it yet. If you could put money on that to be someone, it would be Kincaid or Coleman.
They don't
contested catch-wise.
They don't have it.
It's there. They haven't cracked it yet.
No, they don't have it.
They haven't cracked it yet.
I'm telling you right now, they don't have it.
They don't have a guy on 3rd and 5 that they're going to be able to throw to?
No, I just don't think consistently in the beginning of the season they won't have it.
Right. They have it now, but they don't know. They haven't cracked it yet.
I mean,
it's
maybe,
like we're
but
standing on
that's a high
top
bar.
of.
That's a high bar. Stefan Diggs was a number 1. I said 2 number 1. There's 8 of them.
Yeah.
He was one of the 8. Like,
right.
No, they don't have that. No, they don't have that.
Well, I'm not saying they have a number 1 receiver. I'm saying they have guys on their team that could do that. They just don't know who it is yet.
Sure, but they don't have a guy that they know is going to do it.
Right, exactly what I said. They don't know who it is yet.
No. You're saying you don't know who it is.
They have the guy, they just don't know who it is. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying in the past on 3rd and 5 when they had Stefan Diggs, they know he is going to win majority of the time. They know that they can count on him. If not, they can find some, in a play they might take him away and it opens up someone else. I'm telling you, they don't have a guy that they know is going to win his route on 3rd and 5.
Right.
They have guys that
they don't have a 100%.
They have guys that can win on those routes, sure, but they don't know they're going to win. Is what I'm saying. So yes, Kincaid can develop into. I think Kincaid is the guy that could develop into that. I don't know about Coleman. I think Coleman's kind of a higher ceiling too than anything else. But no, I don't think they have. But again, I agree with the perspective of they don't know who that is. But I just don't think anyone's going to develop into that over the course of the first part of the year, and it's very unlikely that they really have that kind of guy. It's more of a spread the wealth, which leads to my second problem is that, yes, I think it's a benefit that they become unpredictable offensively. It also makes the defense unpredictable because you knew that the defense knows who you want to get the ball to because the defense knows you have a guy. You have a guy that could get open on 3rd and 5. So, of course, they're going to try and shift coverage to take that away. Now that you don't have that, they could do a lot of different things where you don't fully know who they're going to take away. Right? And that leads more pressure to Josh because now Josh pre-snap has to figure out who's shading which way where it's like, okay, they're taking Kincaid away or they're taking Keon Coleman away. You know what I mean? They don't most of the time they were like, all right, well, they know who they're trying to take away. They're trying to take away Stephon Diggs. And yes, now having multiple guys that could do a variety of things helps their offense.
I mean, if James Cook has hands this season, he's a good help too.
It makes their offense unpredictable, but it also kind of somewhat at the same time makes the defense a little bit unpredictable because now the defense can throw different coverages that take away different things that they used to because they knew back then they had to focus heavily on Stephon Diggs.
Right. They're spreading. They're trying to cover the fire massively now instead of just honing in on one.
Yes, they don't have to focus on one area. They could spray it around a little bit, which makes it harder for the quarterback to figure out, okay, on this specific play, who's going to get doubled, who's going to, you know what I mean? So I think, again, it opens up a lot of different listen, this is a huge opportunity. I think people forget that Gabe Davis is out the door sometimes, and that was quite a bit of targets as well. Stephon Diggs was a 150-target guy. They're
going to have to get to that.
A lot of targets that are available in this offense now, and someone's going to have to take them because it's not like they're going to become a huge running team. I know they ran a lot.
Now here's the question. I mean, a lot of what I've seen is people thinking now that the Bills are going to go to that Patriots dynasty style where it's, they would throw to Amendola, they'd throw to Edelman, they'd throw to Gronk, they'd throw to Hernandez at different points, right? Sorry, I mean, the roast of Tom Brady, we didn't get to talk about that. He was the main focal point. We're going to stay away from that. But Hernandez, Gronk, Edelman, Randy Moss that year, Tom Brady's one of his best statistical years. I think that's what this Bills offense is going to look more like. It's not going to be the deep shots to one guy. It's going to be the more paper cutting away, the slants, things like that. You have a lot more speed and size than you have in recent Bills receiver rooms.
I think they have better react potential, and I think they have better athletes at the positions.
Right, so those shorter passes could turn into bigger.
I think it leads to more opportunity. I think that's when they're at their best, when they're paper-cutting teams, and then eventually when,
they get to the cuticle, the nail.
The teams are starting to bleed out, and they're like, all right, we got to stop the bleeding somehow and do a desperate surgery, and that's when you hit them over the top of the deep bomb. Yeah. I think that's when they're going to be at their best. I also think still having an above-average offensive line and having a Pro Bowl running back will help a lot.
You also have question marks on the offensive line that might actually be key players. The rookies they drafted. I know the one guy's from England. He won't see playing time for a while.
None of the tackles are going to play.
He won't play for a while, but I'm saying the
other tackle ain't going to play either.
You don't think so?
No. If those two guys played, something seriously went on.
Well, I'm just saying, it might want to just. I know the one was a center.
Are you talking about Van Praten?
Yeah.
Oh no, that guy's Ryan Granger.
Yeah.
Ryan Granger. No, you're talking. I thought you were talking about the other. There's two tackles they drafted.
No, not the one from England or anything like that. No,
they drafted another tackle from UCF.
Yes, I'm not talking about him. I'm saying they have depth without those guys that could step in. They might want to start.
No, they can't.
What do you mean?
Other than the Georgia guy, those other guys are not those guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying those guys. I'm saying the Georgia guy specifically. He'd be the one to play.
Yes, the other two can't though.
I said the one from England, and I forgot we got another one. I didn't even think about that guy.
I'm just saying
UCF.
If those guys played, we'd be screwed.
No. Whatever. The Bills guy, his last name's Bills.
That's an undrafted guy.
That's an undrafted guy. I forgot the UCF guy.
Cable.
Yeah, but the British guy and him, I didn't expect to play. The Georgia guy, I knew.
He might be able to play. We'll see. I think they wouldn't have moved McGovern to center without having him be the center. So we'll see.
That's still kind of unproven too. He hasn't done that in a while.
We'll see kind of with the left guard situation that he leaves void now. If is it David Edwards? Is it Collins? But Collins seems like they kind of want him being more the third tackle.
Mm-hmm. This will be a good training camp to go catch. It really will.
There's a lot of
question mark. You don't know who's going to start in a lot of cases.
It's a lot of young guys now.
Yeah.
Especially offensively, and also now you see it defensively with Bishop kind of in that secondary, a lot of new guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mike Edwards is currently banged up, but I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, you forget about him too because he is banged up.
We'll see with Matt Milano. He's kind of
he's there,
still
but he's
battling around.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably had some kind of knee structure.
He is on
injury.
schedule though. They said
They always say that. They're not going to tell you he's off schedule.
Yeah, but they're not going to rush him either in OTAs, so don't expect him to be doing anything crazy.
Nope. But they might get rid of OTAs. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
There's rumors that they're going to get rid of OTAs and start training camp in mid-June.
That makes sense.
They're going
It's
to
a
take
money
away.
scheme.
They're going to take this month away and add a month to the training camp. That might so they get 3.5 months off after the season. People think that's the NFLPA's way of countering the 18-game regular season schedule. They're going to get rid of preseason games and all that.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting topic in itself. We'll have to talk about that sometime.
But,
the 18-game schedule.
I had an interesting topic.
Hmm.
You were ready to move on. I didn't want to cut you off yet.
Yeah, no, I just
no.
I'll end with this. Just it's going to be, like I said, a fun training camp to go see. I mean, we should try and go.
It's pretty fun.
That'd be fun. I've gone one time.
Yeah, I went last year.
Josh Allen's rookie season.
It was it's very hot, I'd say. And
yeah, Fisher. They're back at Fisher this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
and you had to take a bus, and the bus is very hot, as anyone could kind of assume. So, yeah,
you had to take a bus.
Well, you have to.
Oh, I didn't
park,
last time when I went.
You park in a parking lot, and you had to take a bus over.
Yes, but the person I went with, I didn't have to park. Or I didn't have to take the bus. I just parked in the lot and walked.
What lot?
It was. I'm not.
You know what?
I'm not going to say it on the pod.
Say it up
I'm
there.
not.
Yeah,
off the air.
Well,
I'm not saying who I went with.
But
I was going to say I've never taken a bus.
I'm going to
so
steal
that
a
was
GR question because I thought it was interesting. Would you rather have the Bills finish 8-9 or lose in the Super Bowl?
I think I might have been the one who tweeted that, so that's
I know.
interesting.
I know.
I
saw it. I thought you would. I thought I was
that I was at work that day when that whole conversation was going on because I talked about it later that day on the air. Forget what I said. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather them lose the Super Bowl. I'd rather them get through. I'd rather them get there and lose than go 8-9 and then have the coaching change happen and all that.
It's a very easy answer.
What, you have them win the Super Bowl? Is that your answer?
No, you have them lose the Super Bowl. There's no scenario.
Oh, I thought you were going option C, none of the above. I thought that's what you were going to do. Yeah,
option
right.
C,
yeah,
option C. 8-9 somehow good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, right. We're the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. 8-9.
Yeah, you win the division 8-9.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's very easy answer. They lose Super Bowl because if they go 8-9. It's very likely that Josh Allen suffered an injury.
Yes, and you have turnover throughout the organization because they were so bad, and then you're starting over in a lot of places. Why would you want that?
I guess you'd want the pick. I guess
you want the pick, but at the same time, I'd rather them get pick 31 by losing in the Super Bowl.
I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just saying if they go 8-9, 8-9 is probably pick 14, maybe better. So I don't know. And you'd have 2-2s. I mean, it's a compelling argument, but my aspect is. I think people forget about this, is that Sean McDermott, before Josh Allen was good, went 9-7 with Tyrod Taylor and maybe the worst roster of all time to make the playoffs.
It was bad.
They won 6 games Josh Allen's rookie year, and they could have won more if freaking Charles Clay had hands.
I had his jersey. That was my first tight end jersey.
Was one of the worst teams ever assembled.
Mm-hmm.
2019, before Josh really broke out, they went 10-6 and made the playoffs, nearly beat a pretty good Houston team because of the number one defense. And now they've had ever since Josh became good. Obviously, he's a headline, but I think people underestimate the actual floor of the team. Like some people think they're gonna bomb out to be like 6-7 teams. No, if they bomb out, they're gonna win 9 games. 9-8 is probably the floor, because I think I trust Sean McDermott enough defensively where they're going to have a good defense.
They're not going sub 500. I'll tell you that much.
And I trust Josh Allen enough to carry an offense to be above league average.
Yeah,
like Josh Allen.
Well, like you said,
it's one of the few quarterbacks that when you have Josh Allen, if he's healthy, knock on wood, for 17 games, he's a one-man offense. So he's probably gonna be league average. And Sean McDermott's one of the best. I mean, we saw him drag a freaking linebacker core of A.J. Klein to the divisional round of the playoffs.
Right, and you said
so. I'm pretty sure that they can make an above-average defense
in the wide receiver room. You pointed out they couldn't compete with the Chiefs. That game was still really close, right until the end.
So I think they could still. I think. Now, do I think they might? Again, I have them going like 2-3 in the beginning of the year. I think it's going to be a bumpy road in the beginning of the year because I think
it's growing pains. You got to get the team
new offense
chemistry together, all of that, and it's a tough beginning of the year for them. So it'll be It'll be interesting to see. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I think just under 100 days now.
Yeah, I think it's 99.
99.
Mhm.
Yesterday was day 100. 100 days till the NFL season kicks off. Counting preseason? Do we count preseason?
No.
Absolutely right. I think
Was that a test?
Yes. 100%. 100%. I don't count preseason. I don't.
Well, they don't.
everyone's-
The games don't count.
A lot of people are like, "Hey, do you want to go to a Bills preseason game?" I'm like, "No, why'd I waste my time?" They're not playing the team. They're trying out things on their offense and defense.
See the problem is
They're not playing for the opponent.
You only go to a Bills preseason game if Josh is playing, and Josh plays maybe a quarter every year out of the 12.
He took like 3 snaps against the Steelers, and then he's out. He's
Yeah.
gone. And then everyone was
Yeah.
remember. Everyone's like, "Oh, hell's freezing over." Like Allen's terrible. Like the Bills look terrible. I'm like, it's the preseason.
And then they beat the brakes out of the
Yes.
Steelers in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. It's a preseason game.
Remember Kenny Pickett won like 8 of 9 for like 4 touchdowns last preseason too.
Yes, because guess what? You're not running defensive schemes against that team. You have no film. You have no film. It's preseason. It's so stupid. That's a preseason rant right there. I'd be fine with them getting rid of one game. I'm going to be honest with you. But I get it from the
Not
player's
preseason
perspective.
Guy,
Yeah.
not a preseason guy.
What do you just quick? We'll talk more about it next week. Do you think they put in like an all-star break like the NHL? They make the Pro Bowl?
I
Like,
don't understand
like
how that
a-
makes any sense.
no.
Not
What
like,
do you mean like that or like
I
just
just understand how they would
18
do-
games?
I just
or-
don't understand how they would do that. Like that.
No, I don't either. I just saw that put out there.
I
was
don't
like,
understand. Like
how do you make the schedule work where every team is off for that 1 week? That
that's
makes
what
no
I'm
sense.
saying. Like, why
Yeah.
would the NFL and what week would it, like what?
And why would you move it to an 18-game schedule to just take a week
Well,
away?
I mean, it's a couple things too. Like
Yeah.
one, like what time of the year would they do it? Because
I get why
like-
they're doing it because
no,
they want
come
the
on.
Super Bowl to be the week
but it
after,
don't
so
make-
everyone's
it
off
doesn't
on
make any
Monday.
it doesn't make any sense though to have a week off of every team because what if you do 2 buys 18 games that's 20 weeks, and you say screw it week 8 or whatever.
Joe Burrow's the biggest
but-
opponent for it. He's like, no,
but
absolutely not.
But week 8 or whatever is like, oh wait, so you're gonna do like mid-November? Mid-November is Veterans Day. That's a day off on a Monday. Like people go to games on Sunday and know that they don't have to go. Like, so you're not gonna
Yeah.
do it that week. You're gonna do it the week before Thanksgiving. You're not doing Thanksgiving week because now you have Thanksgiving. You have Black Friday you've taken over. You're not gonna do it. Like, I mean, at that point, like November is kind of a weird day where I guess you do it the week after Veterans Day. And then, as a player, why the heck would I play in that?
Well, imagine if your bye that they calculate, the Bills have a week 13 bye. Imagine if it's the week after that.
And
then you
how
don't-
would they
then
fit
you
the
don't
second
play.
buy in?
Yeah.
How would they fit? Because I mean, if you fit 2 buys in, you would say, okay, like 1 buy would probably, if we're gonna do it, would probably be like week 6, and another you get everyone done by week 15 or
Yeah.
whatever. Or something. I mean, something like that.
It's
So
the
you have 5
same
games left. It doesn't make any
concept-
sense.
It's the same concept as people saying relegation should be added into the NFL. It wasn't built for it. It wasn't made for it. Like soccer.
Because who would come in?
Well, soccer was built. Yeah, the UFL, who guys cannot even compete. The CFL. Yeah, Chad Kelly, give it a try. Let's see. But anyway, you cannot. People are like, oh, just take the NHL schedule. They have 82 games. It's not like, what are you
No, there's too
talking
much-
about?
There's too high a margin of error.
Yes.
And also, how would they do that? Like
How?
What Kyler Murray?
Someone do the math for us
But
and
no,
send
I
it.
just,
I
it
would like to
doesn't make any
see.
sense that like an injury happens and the who had the number 1 pick, Chicago or whatever. Like
Right.
what Chicago? That market's just gonna be out.
Yeah.
That the NFL is gonna be cool. Hey,
Yeah.
your 8th largest market's just out. It's probably higher than that, but
I mean, they're building a stadium with no
Yeah.
parking. They deserve it. But
true. But your highest market, one of your highest markets, is just out next year. They're not gonna do that. That's ludicrous.
there's a reason the Pro Bowl's after the regular season and
Now,
before
you
the
could do
Super
it.
Bowl.
Now you could do relegation in other leagues. Like I think the NHL would be a good league to do
Baseball, AAA,
it in. Baseball actually would be baseball
because
would
the
be league to do
AAA
it.
players a lot of times go back and forth. So I mean, it would make sense.
It's not that perspective. It's that baseball has an issue of one. There's too many freaking games. That's the
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
I follow. I don't really follow until the end of the season though.
Well,
Like that's
you
where I
can't. You
really
don't follow till the end of like August. 'Cause
Yeah.
then it's like all right, 2 months left. Bam, you got 50 games left.
right.
That's the problem.
It's like the regular. It's like a regular sports
Follow
season.
me, not to completely jump topics, but
No,
I mean, just
I mean it's still on top.
regulation
of
would probably be it because there's just too many bad
Imagine
teams.
Bisons get promoted to the. That would be the problem though, because they're the farm team for some. Like that would be
There
the
just-
issue there.
There would just have to be.
Like the person that goes.
I guess
down
the only thing
becomes-
that they explain would be this would be stupid, but like you would just trade teams.
Yeah.
Like if
Oh, this team goes
like
up. that team comes down.
hypothetically, like if the Cardinals finish last and they get relegated, and St. Louis the Battlehawks come up, the Cardinals are now the Battlehawks. But now, why the hell would all those players want to move cities? You know what I mean? Like
that's the problem.
That's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it doesn't. That's why that system doesn't make any sense.
But see,
of
unless you build the league on that system, it doesn't really work.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. No.
It is a phenomenal thought, though. I love it. Like the fact that you do so poorly,
Baseball
you just
could do it.
You get sent down.
Baseball
like,
could
that's
do
awesome.
it because you basically be trading small market teams for small market teams.
Yeah.
Right. Like very rarely do you get a crappy big market team, other than the Angels, to suck.
Yeah.
Like the Yankees, for
That's
as bad as
yeah.
they are, I can't remember the last time they had a 9 last season. The Red Sox every once in a while have one.
The Yankees this season are killing.
But
Juan Soto.
But yeah, I no.
Imagine Juan Soto getting relegated, like with the Yankees. Like that's crazy.
He's a free agent. He'll just leave him.
You
guys can't afford him.
They're gonna give him big money.
You guys can't afford him anyways.
They're gonna give him big money. They're gonna give him big money. He's not walking.
You guys can't afford him.
Yankee till retirement. They're gonna figure it out. I have.
They start selling like bonds. You're gonna buy some.
Yeah. You kidding me? Yeah. If they do, let them do what the Packers did.
Let's start selling stock.
Yeah. I'd be part owner of the Yankees. One of my coworkers is part owner of the Green Bay Packers because he bought one.
How much is it? I'm not even.
I don't even know. I don't even know. But he's got a little pin.
All right.
He's got a little pin and everything.
Let's reel us back in. Are we going to the Sabres?
Sabres? Sure.
For like 2 minutes.
Yeah, the Worlds. I mean, Dylan Cousins has played better than he has in a Sabres uniform ever.
This is a bad question. Draft's the 24th. When is the draft?
It's not a bad question because I don't think I know it.
I think it's the 24th.
Producer's looking it up as
I
we
know
speak.
free agency is the first. So I guess we are kind of, now that it's the 30th, we're about a month away from crap happening because draft and then we just need the season to end because once the season ends,
it feels so long. It really does.
Well,
these playoffs.
it's long because we're
there's
out.
series and we're out. I get it, but like it's the 28th, 28th. Sorry, getting finger signals. I didn't know what side to read first.
No.
Left or right?
38th.
Yeah, 30. Anyway, I
agree with you.
It feels long, like you said, because we're not in it. And the thing is, the Sabres got so excited. Yeah, Lindy's hired right at the end of the season, right? You're like, oh, the expectations are so high. You see the players doing really well in the Worlds, like Dylan Cousins standing out, Darlene, everybody. And then you're like, oh, man, October?
We got 4 months till actually.
Yeah, July 1st, my birthday, we're going to get some free agency action,
I think,
stuff like that.
I think it's tough because like we have another month until stuff really hits the fan. And there's been moves that have been made, like Ryan McDonough got traded back to Tampa, but like I don't know. We're just waiting now at this time. I know the draft lottery happened. We got the 11th pick, so I guess that's the
18 years ago today, too, from recording this, is the Drury overtime winner. Game 6 against the Canes. Sent them to Carolina for Game 7.
Oh, we don't know what happened next.
Kevin Adams put him to bed. That's what happened.
Yeah, he did. But no, I think for the Sabres, it's just kind of, as a fan, we're just kind of waiting for. It's hard to predict what they're going to do. They have the 11th pick. They have all these prospects.
Remember this time last season? I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait.
Just
so excited.
It's a stick. It's a stick that we can't stop talking about. But no, I think it's weird because Cousins had a really good. Cousins I think had like 8 or 9 goals in the Worlds, which kind of is nice because it just
he needed a confidence booster.
He needs a confidence booster. I thought
after
Power played really well, so it's interesting. It's just kind of there's holes in the forward group that need to be filled, and I don't trust the prospects to fill it. I don't. No, it's a lot of unpredictability because there's so many avenues they can go, but it just seems like now at least this offseason seems to kind of be a make or break year. Like last year we thought was a make or I thought last year was a pretty make or break ish year. I think
we both did.
But I think we did say we did call accurately that if they missed the playoffs, Granado was going to be gone and Adams was going to be in the hot seat, which I think has transpired. But now it is officially make or break because the guy making the decisions, Kevin Adams, is now actually on the hot seat, and he's kind of.
I feel like looking at the Sabres, it's one of those when someone's doing something for you and you ask them how it's going, they're like, "We're working on it." Like that's all you get.
Yeah.
Like when you ask what they're doing with the Sabres, that you're getting, we're working on it. Like things are happening. We're working on it. Like that's my favorite thing to say to someone. Yeah, my favorite thing to say to someone. They ask me how something's going. Or like something I'm doing for him, I'm like, we're working on it. Like there's a team. It's just me. like it's just Kevin Adams. We're working on it. That's what he's saying.
I mean, it's just
we do have a little bit of breaking news.
Oh crap!
In the entertainment world.
Uh-oh.
It's NFL. We're back to the NFL for a second. The Bears are getting hard knocks this season, preseason or the beginning, first half.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
That made sense.
Thank you to our producer for
that made sense
sending
because
that
they're
in.
the first overall pick. But
Yeah.
I guess ending on the Sabres point because we really don't have that much to talk about. It's just going to be
We're working on it.
It's just going to be interesting to see what happens over this course of the next month. A lot of rumors are going to happen. It's just going to be intriguing. There's obviously a third line center position that needs to be filled. There's some of the bottom six that needs to be filled. I think for me, I'm in the boat that I don't need an avenue for my prospects to play. I think if they go to training camp and kick some ass, and I'm happy.
Put them in.
I'm happy to rearrange a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to figure out where to put them. But I think I'm kind of. I had the mindset last year, like, oh, we got to leave some spots open because of Kulik had a good year and Rozan. I'm not doing that this year. I think this year you fill out your top 12, and if a prospect, again, kicks butt in the training camp like Zach Benson did, we'll figure out how to put him in the lineup. It's kind of like, I guess to loop back to baseball, like if you have a top prospect and he's a shortstop, it doesn't stop you from signing a solid shortstop, and then if he just plays better than that shortstop, hell, give him the runtime. So
Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix.
Well, could potentially be that, but
a little different there.
A little different.
I remember the draft story of me working the draft, so we knew what was coming down the pipeline beforehand, and producer Mooch asked me to maybe give him a tip if something big was coming down the pipeline. I sent Michael Penix at pick 8 or pick 9, whatever it was. 8, and he's like, no way. He could not believe it. And then I said, just watch. They pick him. I couldn't believe it either. We were astonished.
That was wild, but I think that's it for the Sabres.
Yeah. One more thing. Go Kyle Okposo. Win the, let's get.
I'm not rooting for Kyle Okposo.
Let's get Okie. No?
I refuse to root for Kyle Okposo.
Why? Because he knew everything was wrong in the beginning of the season. That's right. That was a bait for you to get to say that. That's all I have to say. Sorry, pardon my language, but yeah, no, go Rangers. Sorry, derailed the end of the show here.
Did you give him the bird too?
Yeah, I did the trifecta there. Yeah. But anyway,
my dad's gonna have a field day with that
language.
I
know. I'll bleep it maybe.
No, you won't.
No,
back to.
Won't. I haven't bleeped yours at all, so we'll let it run.
I know. My dad knows. He keeps telling me about it. But ending the show with what we normally. I think it's my turn to do a thing. I don't know. It might be
I have one. If you want me to just do it,
we could both do one.
Okay.
Screw it. We're both. Can I go first? Or?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a while for you, and I got to recover.
A little bit of like a 30-second timeout for you.
Yeah. I'm in the corner.
Yeah, with the Josh Allen jumping over scene. But I think it's not really unpopular, but I guess from my perspective, I don't understand how people think golfing by yourself is fun.
It's not.
It's
not fun.
I think now I say this from a guy getting maybe a little bit into golf, right? I got a Divot Daddy, which is an amazing tool, by the way. It kind of shows you your striking, and you don't have to have a ball, so you don't have to go to the range. It's like $30, and
yeah,
it actually is. I think it's helped me. I don't know. I'm about to go in the range in 2 seconds, and I'll update you guys next week. But I think for me, it's weird because I was a tennis player, and tennis obviously you can't really play by yourself because I don't want to play with a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to play with other people, right? Golf has always been the sports that's pitched that you don't have to go with anyone. You could wake up at 7 a.m. and be like, hey, 8 a.m. I want to go hit 9:18. Have a phone day. I just don't see the joy. I said that from the perspective of neither. I won't expose anyone, but I will actually. I guess Joe, the producer, and myself, we're not good golfers. I'm not gonna pretend to say
I had my best day and it was mediocre.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
it was just fine.
I'm just happy with making contact with the ball half the time.
When I see it actually just kind of look like a drive, I'm like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I would stop there.
I have very low expectations. Now I do get frustrated pretty often because it's just a frustrating game. But
it's like chess.
I just don't chess. I just don't that's not even a sport.
That might be your hot take of the day. It's a mental.
No,
it's one of the most mental sports
right,
out there.
Back where I was before.
Maybe we're gonna run with that. We're gonna run with that next week.
All right. No, whatever. I just don't see. I don't see how it's fun to play by yourself because playing by yourself, you occasionally get paired off with someone, a stranger. Mm-hmm. I don't think golfing with someone you're I don't know.
That puts immense pressure on you.
Yeah,
I don't want to perform for a stranger. I'm not feeling that.
I always
it's like a one night stand. I'm out. One game stand at that point. Like the pressure's on you. I can't. Like I would never be able to play with a stranger. Are you saying that it's a hot take that you don't want to play with a stranger or like by yourself?
Just playing by yourself.
So what's the hot take? You don't want like
No, I just don't think going to a golf course by yourself is fun.
No, not at all.
Like again, I'm just saying there's
you
a
think
scenario.
someone will refute that?
Yes, I think there's plenty of people that like to just golf by themselves.
Oh, interesting.
I
didn't know there was
understand
that crowd out there.
I always because we're not good. You have to find like it's fun to play have a talk. So I'm like, what? You hit a bad shot and you're just gonna be like. Just gonna like mother F yourself.
Yeah, I mean when we went that one time, you just kept dropping balls out of your pocket when they would fly
that's what I'm
away.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like all right, I was
like, oh man, this guy's just he's nailing it.
It's like all right, well I'll just hit another shot. When you're by yourself, it's kind of like I just gotta play my ball. Like,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're playing a stranger, it's like all right, well I can't be just like dropping everywhere. I just gotta like find my ball. And
I also feel like if you're in a group, it's easier to like play at your pace. But if you're by yourself and there's a group behind you, like you got to move. You know, like I feel the pressure to move quick.
Or you just let someone pass you.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate the feeling. I do say my.
I don't like getting chased. I feel like I'm being pursued. I don't like that.
hate teeing off, like the first hole, like hole 1 or hole 10, whatever.
Yeah, because everyone's watching you.
Everyone's watching me. I just don't like the thought of the people that are behind me. So if I shank, I had to like
reset.
Oh, sorry guys. Let me like do that after I tap my driver 30 yards. Like I gotta shoot again, guys. I'm not counting that.
Yeah.
Because like
or you didn't hit it far enough and you're in their way when they drive.
Yeah,
they might nail you.
Yeah, and it's like and you start like shanking left and right, and it takes you like 20 minutes to the hole. Whatever. I'm just saying. I just don't think
you got to bring the divot daddy
now,
and hit it.
I've never done golf technically by myself, but I just don't think it would be enjoyable. That's all I'm just gonna say. No, going to the range
is different.
Going to the range by yourself.
It's just you practicing.
Is fine because usually it's kind of weird having a group because you have to find the stalls. You really can't be. You shouldn't really be talking on the range.
You're as quiet as possible. Maybe some passing conversation.
Other than if you're Greg Simone and
Yeah, we got a full name call out on that one. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. knowing who that is, I can imagine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he like turns around after hitting a shot and just starts like out. Listen, you have to be.
Is he Happy Gilmore?
You have to be in your indoor voice.
Is he Happy Gilmore
on the range? He sometimes.
Did he act like Happy Gilmore? Was he starting to scream?
He was very flamboyant, like very loud.
Gotcha.
Okay. So,
all right. Yeah.
So, what's your God, we got a one night stand reference too. Jesus.
Yeah. No, it's a little wild. You can tell it's our first episode back in a while together. So, so on last Friday, I was hosting for a little while over the airwaves on WGR, and the topic that I came up with before the show was your best sports movies, your favorite sports movies. Got a lot of traction. We had a lot of callers, a lot of input on Twitter. The one that caused some controversy, I want to get your thoughts on this. High School Musical.
I've never seen High School Musical.
Is it a sports film, though?
I've never seen it.
Producers saying film that has sports in it. What's the whole premise of the series, though? Where does he realize himself in the second movie on a golf course? Where does he in the first movie? The whole underlying theme is he's a basketball player, and there's a basketball game at the end that's big and everything like that. They're sports movies. The third movie has a whole opening scene and he's deciding what college to go to. It's all sports based. Those are sports movies. I'll leave you with that.
I don't know. I've honestly.
I know you haven't seen them, yeah.
So I don't even know the premise of it.
I don't want to get into that on this episode. But that's for another time.
If you're explaining it correctly, I would agree with you that it is.
The whole underlying theme is about sports. There's just music around it, and it's like that kind of thing.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Or is it more like a teen drama?
The first movie, I'd say, is the sports movie.
Okay, but I also it's like
a teen drama could be a sports movie though. Friday Night Lights.
Is it about sport?
It's all about football. Blue Mountain State comedy. That's a sports show.
I guess it's true. It's like sports / drama.
Ted Lasso, more of a drama, but it's all about soccer. Underlying theme. Yeah, but that's what High School Musical is. Just with music instead of comedy.
Sports comedy.
Yeah, but with music instead of comedy. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's where I landed on it. People are like, no, because I don't get it. But
what do they say?
They're just saying no, it's not. They have no defense.
No, they can't guard you.
No,
you just put them in the paint and it's easy 2 points.
I'm rating 3s. They're drizzling 2s. That's all I got to say. Anyway, that's gonna do it. That
doesn't make it. But I agree with you. Like if it's a sports musical, it has sports in it. Like as you said, Friday Night Lights is a sports drama. I think
there's an entire basketball game at the end in musical form.
Now, you could debate. I guess you could debate some stuff. Is it really about sports though?
It is because it's about his choice.
Time out. But is it more of a teen? It's teen drama. It's more of a teen drama than it is about sports. You know what I mean?
But the drama is about
But the main
sports.
thing isn't sports.
Yeah, the drama is about sports. That's what it is.
No, it's about a teen making a decision.
About sports.
About his life.
About sports. It's not about his life. In the first movie, it's all about, I'm part of the basketball team. I have to do it. Like, he can't be it. Like, that's the whole thing. It's
sure,
all,
but
it's all about sports.
You can make a case that it's more about finding his life, his where does sports fit in his life.
Right. But
So
you
that-
said sports there.
But I understand that, but that doesn't mean it's all like the main thing is sports. It's more about focusing on his life.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he sings a song.
One Tree Hill is about basketball. Two brothers who are basketball players, but it's more about their journey as half brothers and the drama surrounding their family
Right.
than it is about basketball. Even though it's a sport, like it's a teen sports drama.
Have you seen the Iron Claw?
Yes.
Is that a
I'm
wrestling
sorry,
movie?
I haven't seen it. I shouldn't say I haven't seen it. I've read the synopsis of it.
Is that a wrestling movie? Is that a sports movie? You haven't. Neither of you have seen it. You
Again,
need to watch
I would
that.
agree with you that it's a sports movie, but the main premise is family drama.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You'd agree it's a sports movie. That's the only question. Like that, it's not about like.
I understand we could say yes or no to sports movie, but
Yeah.
then people can have the comeback of it has to be the main thing to be a sports movie.
Right.
Right? Is the main message in High School Musical, sports, or is it a coming of age story? You know what I
Well,
mean? Like that's
there's a
their
lot of
counter.
sports
well,
movies.
That's your counter. That's your counter.
The
That's-
Sandlot. Is it really about baseball or is it about a coming of age story? That's the question.
Damn, I mean, you got me there. But like, it's true.
That's what I'm
though.
saying. Like there's a
Like-
whole caveat here that we have to get through. Like what makes it like
Like that movie about
42, Jackie Robinson story. It's about Jackie Robinson. It's about how he broke barriers
in
on
what,
the
though?
backdrop of sports.
Yeah, but that
Right, but it's the same somewhat concept. The Sandlot's all on the backdrop of baseball, but it's
yes,
still
but Jackie Robinson's story is.
I mean, that's a
specifically-
biopic though. That was a
it's-
horrible example for me to pull out.
Yeah, that was poor.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like Draft Day is a sports movie.
Right,
Like that's full sports.
even though it's completely fake.
trash.
Yeah,
Trash.
Field of Dreams. What is that? I don't know. Someone's seeing ghosts on a baseball field. That's all I think.
Yeah, Field of
Like
Dreams.
Sam Darnold out
But
there
Field of
seeing
Dreams
ghosts.
is more about. Yeah,
See, like that's the whole thing.
But
Well,
then
this
what's
could
the-
be a whole discussion.
What's actually a sports movie though?
That's the question.
Like I think that's the.
That's the question.
I would agree.
Because Ted Lasso, it's more about the drama of like there's a lot less soccer and a lot more drama around than anything else.
But that's why.
Like that's the question.
But that's why they consider it more like when they say like a sports drama,
mm-hmm.
you focus more on drama than sports,
Right.
right? Like I guess Happy Gilmore is a sports comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's more comedic than it is really about sports. It's not really telling you shit about golf.
Right. So
Sorry,
High School
sorry.
Musical is a
Sorry for
sports
cussing,
musical.
brother. Is it a sports musical?
You haven't seen it. Yeah, this is the worst person to have this conversation with. Yeah.
I've never seen it, but what you're saying is it follows a
It's
character.
it's upon the backdrop of sports.
But
basketball.
what are the side characters doing?
They're all basketball players and jocks.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Pretty much. And then it's all about. I mean, then you have the other side of like the nerds. You know. But the whole backdrop is upon him in his decision to play basketball or not, and the team is there. There's a whole song while they're practicing,
See, I just think
and the whole game at the end that like decides the fate of the movie.
I'm a counter this. I think really to be a significant sports, it has to have the main thing that you remember about the movie has to be sports related.
Okay.
Right, 42. You remember it because of he broke the color barrier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on the Jesse Owens movie. I think it's called Race, where
Might be.
where he runs. Like you think about him in the 1936 Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Blanking on
Sandlot. You think of
the Beast,
the
Benny
Beast
Rodriguez
with the baseball
running away from the
yeah, so
dog.
sports. Like High School Musical, no one goes after High School Musical and goes, dude, what's his name? Troy Bolton? Man, what a basketball player.
I mean,
No, they go
at the end of the series,
they
maybe.
go if you're, no, they don't. No, they don't, dude. Anyone who watches High School Musical doesn't have a single comment about sports. No one talks about the sports in the High School Musical. They talk about the singing and how Zac Efron was their crush when they were younger. I mean, that's what it is. Is that a sports? Like, I don't know. I don't think so at that point.
I mean, the NFL fan base is getting to that pretty much now that Taylor Swift's involved.
That doesn't count. You're just.
That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
She has a small niche of the sport. No, dog.
I don't know. Chiefs fans are looking like a lot of 14-year-old girls.
I think I just blew your High School Musical as a sports movie just out of the water.
The whole backdrop is sports. So
yes,
I'll
but
stand
no
by
one.
it.
But no one.
You watch it and get back to me.
No
How about
one
that?
says anything about High School Musical and thinks.
Dude, he put up a stat line. That's all I got to say.
No one thinks about sports when they think about High School Musical. When you told me about that, I didn't even think. I forgot that he was a basketball player.
Right, but have you seen the film?
No, but I know of the
Exactly.
film, and no one I know of the film, and every conversation I've had with someone about the film, no one talks about basketball. They talk about Zac Efron, and then there was like some feud behind the scenes about some people and how they used to date or whatever, or some crap. No one says, "Oh my God, dude, the basketball scene when he hit the shot, all the crowd's reaction, man, I want that." No one talks about that. Do you talk about that?
No, I don't.
You just made my.
But here's
point.
the thing. I'm a little biased
Because you played.
because I was in it and I had to make that shot. So yeah, I do think about the sports. All right, if I didn't make that shot, that ending of the thing,
You missed
done.
though.
I didn't miss. What do you mean I missed? I have it on DVD. I did not miss.
There's rumors that one of the shows you missed.
Such a false rumor.
And I have multiple eyewitnesses
Who?
that say
Who?
I only named one person, so I can't name another second person.
Yeah, no, I did not miss. Made every shot.
Mm-hmm. In practice, maybe when the game was on the line.
Nope. I will not take that slander because you know what?
You gonna sue me?
Slander spoken. Yeah, I am suing you because that's so false. That's going to end it for this edition of the Buffalonian Podcast. I'm Joe Callie. As always, I was joined by none other than Dom Loss. Rest in peace, Angel Hernandez. How do we always end these, buddy?
Go Bills, baby.
Go Bills.